All right, everybody, thank you for attending. Is there any agenda additions or deletions?
Just to talk about the cameras for the bridge, and if that's something you guys want to pursue.
Under highway?
Sure.
All right,
I'll make that a motion to add that under highway.
Second.
all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, approval of the minutes of July 8th.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, is there anybody have any concerns about the minutes? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, two people have to sign that. Cash,
First thing in the discussion is just to get an update about the roadside mower. As of right now, they've got like $1,500 into it, trying to figure things out. And I don't know if they didn't listen to me the first time I talked to them or what, but now that they're investigating the different area, he said it'd be between 8,000 and 10,000 for that.
Total or just additional?
Additional.
It's just the tractor, right? It's the valve bank, right?
Pardon me?
It's the valve
All right,
bank, right?
that's where I directed them, and they.
I'll help you with it.
I mean, I can't see us spending 8,000 to 10,000. We can buy a used tractor for $10,000 that can do that.
Problem is setting that all up for that mower and stuff like that.
It's an awful big
And
price tag.
Yes, it is. This is why I held them off. I said, we talked to the select board, the residents of town.
can we truck that back here and maybe hire Eddie?
Yeah.
Because what the assumption is there's a spring broke in the valve bank, right?
Well, it's supposed to be there's a broken valve somewhere, and that was the original thing I told him. Well, no, I didn't tell him. I explained what was wrong, and the mechanic I talked to, I had 5 minutes with him, and he said, and I don't know if they put somebody else on the tractor, they didn't relay the message, or the communication wasn't there for sure on that part. It's building pressure on the whole system. Even the soft return line blew apart.
At their shop.
So something's
Yeah,
wide
we're
open
using it.
pressurizing. So something's wide open pressurizing the low pressure system.
Yep.
That are blocking the return line.
Eddie, you worked on stuff like that.
That's easy compared to what I've worked on. What? Yeah.
That-
John Deere's closed center system. So they build pressure to the point where they go into a neutral position. Make it respond faster when you touch your controls, your plows come up quick and stuff like that. It's like bucket trucks, like a hiring.
Yep.
Okay. It's something simpler than that.
Would you want it dropped up on Guardrail Road?
No. I'll do it down here
Here in the
garage.
shop.
Oh, I got enough stuff up there.
Make a motion that we bring it back to the shop.
Okay.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? And then in this brief discussion, you guys will
I'll
talk
add
to-
that to my motion that we get it back to the shop and hire Eddie to fix it.
I did a little
I'll continue to second.
investigating on the series of tractors. They've had an awful amount of problems with that big valve in the back. And it's the electric over hydraulic valve spool shifter.
Yeah,
And it could be, well, you know, stray voltage.
yeah.
Could be getting stray voltage, half spool in it, causing it to heat. A lot of things, little things like that.
How's it
It's
reach?
probably a 5-cent part messing up
Yeah.
$10,000 worth of stuff,
Okay.
right?
All right, well,
This is why I brought it to the board. I'm like,
yeah.
whoa.
All right, there's motion made, seconded. We've had some discussion.
Put it on
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? All right, you guys can coordinate.
Yep.
How long you think you get it back to the shop here?
I'm not sure what we did is we had them truck it up with their track trailers and backhaul before. And I can have them throw it down and see if we can get it back here.
All right, so you'll start working on that?
Mhm.
Good. All right, what else you got?
Next thing is on the bridge on Walker Mountain Road, just before 133, the one we just had Belden fix. My suggestion is to put guardrails because the posts are pretty rotted and the old cable stuff, which is illegal. To put guardrails on both sides. That'll help strengthen
Yep.
the safety. We got a quote from Lafayette. It was 12,500 without traffic control. Is that right, Lashley?
But we can put our lights up there for them, can't we?
We could, yes.
So,
What was it, 12,000?
12,500.
So I mean, by putting our lights up there, it's not gonna cost us anything for traffic control, cause we're gonna have to hire anybody.
I would think they would do it, in a day, I would think. If not 2 days, for sure.
That's brand new probably too, that's not used guardrail. At that price.
I don't say right here, double beam. You don't have that in front of you.
I don't have
I'm the only one that's got it. It's double nest steel beam guardrail because it's on a river
Yep.
bridge. Needs to be heavier across the cement bridge post. We will drill through most posts to attach. 5 posts will be attached to steel plates and bolts on either side of the post. 3 new mounted posts with new anchor bolts will be set where the concrete post is separated from the curb, and 1 new pedestal post will be installed near the steel piling. That's that section they just fixed. And rails will be attached to either end with flip lip shoes, except for the southeast corner will be into the steel guardrail that's already existing.
it's
Okay.
already there.
And this is for the both sides of the bridge.
Well, it definitely sounds like extensive work that they're gonna be doing.
Has the state given us any update on, that bridge is not on the slate right now, is
Nope,
it?
not pushing it.
I know we've been pushing it, but
Right.
it's not, so, I mean, you kinda gotta do the work, because even if we push and it gets on the slate, you're talking 5 years. before
Minimum
they're gonna-
5 years.
Before they even get to it.
Yep.
So, as much as I hate to do that, cause that's a pretty steep price tag.
It is, but on the other hand is we'll own the guardrails when.
Well, that's the other flip side of it. We can pull them out. We can,
Right.
when they decide to do the bridge, we can pull
Right.
them out and put them someplace else.
They'll be, have a contour to them, slight contour.
Well, yeah.
Whatever. Or use them, we could use
It'll
them
work.
somewhere else down the road, but that's, yeah.
So, I'd like
What
to
did-
entertain
what
a
did-
motion.
What did we have in our? What do we have in our guardrail budget this year?
Guardrails are in the same budget line item, I think about $16,000 left.
We're gonna chew up your culvert and guardrail budget.
Mm-hmm.
But you think
Is
it's
there any other
necessary?
major culverts that got to be done or guardrails that got to be done before?
For sure, the culverts, and that's through a grant on, Bump Road, is our
That's a grant. though.
biggest expensive
But
culvert.
anything else that you
It's
see
all
right
gonna be
now?
minor culverts, driveway.
So nothing major- nothing major for project.
Creek Road's gonna be, that's all set for culverts, the
Yeah.
one's getting paid.
No major
How about
guard.
the one
guard-
on East, is it East Street?
East Clarendon Road.
Yeah.
By Frank Becker's old farm, them culvert, or guardrails should have been done, but I don't know, they just don't want to get back to me on
That's
doing that stuff.
where it goes under the railroad tracks,
Yes.
that stream
Yeah.
right there. You know where we're talking about, right?
So I mean, other than this one though, you don't have any other major on the
Not that I'm aware
horizon.
of. As far as big, yeah, we got small culverts.
I know you got
18,
small ones, but what I'm
a
saying,
common thing.
because
Yeah.
I mean, it's August 5th, and we're
First part
gonna
of fiscal
and we're
year.
gonna shoot the budget,
I know.
in August. That's why I'm just wondering. That's why I'm asking. So
Can I make a suggestion, possibly? I mean, should we ask the state if they think that's something that we should be doing?
well, that's an idea. The other idea is it's technically a bridge repair, so can it come out of the bridge repair line item? Because we have the bridge
Other
repair
bridge
fund. Because it is a bridge repair.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
that's what we're doing. It's not like we're going out and going on a road somewhere. This is a bridge. So,
Yeah, and it's because of the bridge damage that we're,
I know.
yeah.
If a car hits it right now and catches the guardrail, it's gonna knock more posts off.
And we've got no major bridge projects on the horizon, and that fund, I think, is pretty healthy right now. I believe.
We didn't have to use it for the cover bridge, any of it, so.
What precipitated, the notion on this guardrail? Is that just your guys' inspection?
Myself,
Versus, any authority coming in?
Right.
Yeah.
How much is in it?
170,000.
Oh,
Make a motion that we approve the guardrails on the bridge to come out of the bridge repair fund.
Second.
is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, East Street ditch work.
this is up by Jacob Lane, just south of the new cover bridge, up around that corner. Was it Janine Nelson?
Janine, right.
Right there. I knew you looked familiar. We need to actually look at that, and our issue is with the not having enough shoulder there, the cars coming up around there, and there's different ways we can look at it. I think we need to do like a site visit to, there is an issue there that needs to be taken care of, and this is why we haven't gone any farther with it.
Sorry, that's up higher, and then that's going down in.
Oh, thank you.
I know you had a big rain that
Yeah.
affected many, but
Yeah.
I've been here for 40 years, and I had a lake in my front yard. And where the water's coming out of the culvert, it's pretty crushed. So I was wondering if there could be a newer,
We can go up there and, for a temporary clean it out, then figure out what we're gonna do for, and what's hindering us big time is the split rail fence, being that close to,
that's been there for 40 years. And what I've seen is that the road has been
has
built
risen.
up so much that
Yeah.
one side is a good slope and and it's now just flat.
Right,
So it's affecting, and
So-
the water went all the way from almost the driveway to past
the
my
thing
well.
is, if we dig it out with that slope and the gush, I don't know, there's quite a bit of water going down there, we'll have to put rock in there,
You did it before.
slow it
Without me
down.
asking, I'm not sure why or
Okay.
how, but.
Okay.
And the other fence was there, so same holes. I don't know why, but Ashley was there with me today, and we were noticing that it was pretty wide. The street itself was pretty wide, and it certainly is meandering in the ditch. It's not going, I don't want the water on the property. It's crazy.
Right.
The way it came.
Right,
Cash, let me see those pictures, right?
so,
We also noticed the ditch
That one's up a little bit higher.
south of
Right,
Jacob
this
Lane.
is just,
yep, we're gonna have to start up with that old barn,
Yeah, it's
and come
not
down
even
through.
there. It's
Right.
so overgrown, and
right,
water's coming from that as well, but
right. I'm thinking over the years, the road has grown,
and this is
width and height.
up from her, and that's the fence that Cash is talking about right there. Yeah, I can see how that culvert is half full.
I'm sorry,
Culvert that goes into, Jacob Lane,
that culvert's pretty crushed.
yeah,
Yep, and then
And then the one beyond is like, you can't find it.
yeah, that's Jacob Lane there.
Is there a certain width of the road that should be there, Cash? That-
It's, the standard width of 21
Is
feet.
it?
10 foot on each side, 10.5 feet for road lane. And the other thing is, you got a corner right there, so that people use that corner for, end up wider.
So what do you think would be a
The other
good,
thing is, we haven't, I mean, to interrupt you, we haven't had the muds problems like we have in the past because of the material we've used on there. Unless you can tell me different, coming up around that corner and stuff, past your driveway.
In the spring, you
though
mean?
there was a truck
Pardon
in
me?
the ditch?
In the
that-
spring, you mean?
Yeah.
When the frost goes out?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, there was a truck that went right in my ditch and back and forth, back to try to get himself out.
Right.
So I don't know if people are coming up that hill, of course, gunning it, and, you know,
Right.
the year before somebody went airborne and that was another situation. So people need to slow down, and then the ditch itself is, if you saw it this morning, you came by at like
Right.
6:30.
Yeah,
I happened to be drinking coffee and looking.
right.
So maybe you saw that it's just flat.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, it did. I stopped, actually creeped down through there
I appreciate that.
and looked at it, and
So what can we do
Yeah.
to dig it out like we used to? I mean,
Right.
the fence was there before, so
okay.
I'm just asking for enough rocks. Like, I don't know where all the rocks
Well, the
went.
problem is, yeah, I don't know. They must be buried in the sediment on top of them. Just that there's gonna have to be a deeper ditch down there if we put the rock down there to hold the flow,
Right, and go straight.
erosion.
So what do you think is the proper thought at this point?
To dig it out and replace the culverts that need to be replaced up to there.
Okay, so my culvert?
Mhm.
Okay. And we're looking at,
And actually, what we'll do is probably set it back away from the shoulder of the road a little bit where the culvert driveway is.
okay,
So we don't have, and it'll probably be a longer culvert. So that your fuel trucks, dump trucks, or garbage trucks, stuff like that, don't drive over the head walls and stuff like that.
When can you get up there?
Depends on Mother Nature here. It's just been kicking us. We lost all last week because of Coeur d'Alene Hill.
Yeah, that was.
And you got paving on the horizon too.
We got paving on it, yeah.
Have they given
And
you a date
we-
yet?
They're looking at around the 17th August. 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks
Oh,
out.
3 weeks. Also, we gotta get on Culver Road, but we're gonna have to figure that out. That might be put off for a while. Because our plan was to go up there by the bridge at Clarendon, Rutland Town line, do the excavating work to get the shoulders down there and build that road up some when they reclaim it.
Oh.
Just that section.
Yeah, because that's getting reclaimed too.
Just that section.
Well, that water,
So that set us back big time.
the water coming off from the road where she's living,
Uh-huh.
that's filling up where your well is, right?
the water went straight to the well, which got me nervous. We share a well, my neighbor and
Uh-huh.
I, and, you know, can't afford replacing a well or anything like that, so.
Is it a shallow well or is it?
It is not. It is pretty deep. But, you know, that's the first thing you think of, that something's gonna happen to the well
Right.
with that much water. It looked like a river.
Couple weeks. Can you get
Yeah.
up there before the paving?
Open.
Get up there before
Because
paving.
The part
So-
of paving, that's Tommy's deal now, because we got everything all set.
Creek
for when we
Road's
go.
prepped?
Creek Road's prepped.
Okay.
In front of Norm's,
Yep.
we dug all that culvert
Yep,
out.
I saw
we set
that.
it all.
So even if you got up there on a temporary basis and shallowed that out, took out some of
Yeah.
the shallow,
I don't wanna set a date because I'm hoping, in less than 2 weeks, we can be up there, if not sooner.
Is there any thought to crowning the road a little bit to the other side, as there is a culvert that pond across the street from me goes through, again, towards my side, there's a
Across the road where we just put a new culvert in. Last year.
the big house, the big land.
where
Pond
CJ
View is right
Apatow
across
used
the
to
road?
live?
Yeah, Pondville,
Did you put a culvert there last year?
that 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Was
means
settlement
to-
basins. We didn't put it across the road, we put it across that driveway pond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Driveway
it's
south.
underneath the road, but if the water was more crowned to that side, would it go in that culvert instead of coming onto my property?
Would
Just a
help.
thought,
Would help,
if you can
yeah.
push it that way a little bit instead of coming into mine. That'd be great.
Then up the road there on that side, you got the dead maple trees or maple trees that are not that healthy and they're huge.
Which maple tree?
Right across in the barn there.
That's from
Oh,
Parrots.
well, we can take those out? No.
Hard to get a ditch down through there because of the root system and
Well, I know we had a lot of rain, but it has just never happened.
That's the
so-
issue we're having, is the torrential downpours.
Right, but
Just,
having that flat, I don't know if the snow trucks plows are plowing the dirt into that area, could be, but
yeah, we don't see no ridging right there when we're plowing, so I kinda doubt it.
Okay, but either way, it sounds like hopefully
We'll
within a
work
week
on
or
it.
two.
Yep.
Okay.
Good,
We'll
okay.
definitely work on it.
thank you.
We'll keep, we'll let Ashley know when he's gonna get up there, and that way you can, all right?
That's right up by your place, right?
Yeah. All right?
Next thing is on Teer Road by Landfears. I think the best thing to do is we have all three residences there come in for even a site visit up there to, so everybody understands what needs to happen between the ditch digging and stuff like that. We talked about originally hiring it out, but if we can get the three landowners to agree, we could do it in-house.
So are you proposing to have, notify those three
Notify them
landowners?
and have a meeting with them. I'd like to do it actually as a site visit right
I was
there.
gonna say, it should be up
As a-
there.
As a special, meeting, whatever, amongst the select board and them.
So what we,
Everybody be on the same page.
what you might be able to do is, when you come up with a plan
Mhm.
first, what you wanna talk about in that meeting.
Yeah.
Then get together with Ashley, and then
Mhm.
we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And have it, try and
We
have at
we
least,
had a drawn map with the plan, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Yep.
do.
yeah,
I thought we had a drawn plan already out.
We do,
But we have, is it
But
trouble
it's
getting
gotta
everybody
be-
to agree?
pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nobody wants to give land up and stuff like that.
They were here one night, if I remember
Mhm.
right, and
yeah.
Are you thinking, is that something you're gonna get to before winter?
I'm hoping, but we'll see how, I mean, these weather occurrences are really kicking us back.
So I guess my question is, sounds to me like you're pretty well booked for August.
Mhm.
So,
Put it off September is what you're suggesting.
what I'm just suggesting is,
See what comes.
rather than stir everything all up and then all of a sudden we don't get to it before winter,
Right.
you've stirred everything up for nothing.
Why don't we wait till we're
I think you gotta,
almost ready to do the project?
yeah, because you gotta know we're
Yeah.
gonna get it done.
Yep.
I mean, because otherwise you're stirring, like I say,
Right.
get everybody upset for no reason at all. Because then we're gonna have to revisit it in the spring anyway.
Yep.
I mean, that'd be me.
Put it on hold a little bit, yep. Well,
But if you think you can get to it in September,
Right.
let's schedule
don't
something.
know, don't know.
Well, that's,
We thought we'd be on
Yeah, I know.
Culver Road, last week.
Yeah.
didn't
We're
happen.
still not there.
Yeah.
So, that's all, other than, cameras for the bridge.
Right. And, I talked to, what was that person's name with the
Beth,
all right, with the historic group that,
Bridge Society.
right. And when they had the ceremony over there, she came up to me, she said that she'd be willing to, investigate that group paying part of the fee to put cameras
Uh-huh.
up on that bridge. Now, I sat up there the other day on the intersection on the south side, and I saw a couple of trucks pulling like hay wagons and stuff like this, believe it or not, through that bridge. And I stopped one individual, and then there was, when I was talking with you up there, there was a guy towing a car, and so I said something to him, and then he said, okay, well, we'll take the strap off the car that they were using for pulling, and they supposedly were gonna drive the pickup truck across and then push the car across the bridge. That didn't happen, because when I got down there, they were halfway through pulling it with the pickup truck, and then when they got to the other side, it took off up the hill.
So is this basically some sort of grant through the Covered Bridge Society, essentially, that you're talking about?
It wasn't 100% clear what
An
she...
informal offer.
Huh?
Informal offer.
From the
Yes.
society.
Yes.
And who's gonna monitor the cameras?
That's the other question.
Well,
And if the cameras pick something up, what
What do you do about
what
it?
is legally allowed to do with that
well,
information?
then we could turn that information over to the sheriffs.
The sheriff,
Allowed? I mean, why are we going to waste our time if it's not even going to be allowed?
Yes, that's a notification, because once we put those signs up there, the new signs that we're getting, then legitimately, the town has a right to have their constable, which is the sheriff's department, go and investigate that. We had that conversation, I don't know, Bob, you were on the board when we were talking about possibly putting cameras there a long time ago.
You don't have to be on the bridge, kind of like Mad River Glen has a video cam, it is facing the bridge, like on a pole.
Yeah, there's a GMP pole that's on the south side that would be facing the bridge. So you could just put that up there and just have recordings. I don't know anything about how those cameras are set up or how they feed to somebody's computer or whatever they do, but that's something we would have to investigate first before we go.
I'm afraid they're gonna be calling the sheriff all the time.
Well, what I
And
would,
they should be out on speed control. That's
what
my
I would
opinion,
say
but
is, I hear what you're saying, but I would tend to say we need to check with the sheriff's department because there are very
did.
specific things that are allowed and not allowed.
We can send them pictures and they can go by the dry weights of the trailer and the vehicle.
So they said that this
Yeah.
was okay.
The bridge wasn't open like 2 days, and I walked, my window faces East Street, and there was a dump truck with a full cord of wood in it. I went, you gotta be kidding me. You know, and I got the number because it was on the truck, and I told Mike, and he actually
I called the individual
called
and
the
told him
person.
that you can't go driving across there.
People don't care.
Mm.
They don't care.
So the valid question is who's going to be responsible for monitoring the camera? Who are we paying to monitor the camera?
Well, that's why I don't understand how that works.
Well, somebody's going to have to go through the pictures. Like, so if it's a camera that captures and like, so for example, a game camera. If you put a game camera out in the woods, it captures everything that walks by it. But you've got to sit down and you have to go through it.
Yeah.
You can't just. It's not going to automatically contact you and say, "Oh, a truck drove through today." It's going to be every vehicle that drives through.
Yep.
So then you got to pay somebody to look at it and determine what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So whose job is that going to be?
It could be,
could be or is.
Hmm?
It sounds like you'd be interested with your time.
well, if that's the case, then I'll volunteer to do it.
I mean, we still have those signs to put up.
Yep.
And then the sheriff said once we put the signs up, then they can actually start giving violations.
Yeah.
So until the signs just came in, so it's not like that's a behind thing.
That's the weight limit signs.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe once they start, once those are up and they can actually use those as a, reason to
Resource.
give a,
Information.
Okay.
What
I
was the
mean-
final weight? I know we went back and forth on that when we were doing the
3 tons.
construction. It is 3 tons still. Okay.
1,000 pounds.
6,000 pounds.
Half-ton pickup can't even go across it.
I was going to say, my truck is
Yeah.
is almost 6,000 pounds
Yeah,
empty.
so if it's rated for 12,000, post it for
I thought
12,000.
we did it for 5.
No, we did it for 6 tons, so it was, well,
Yeah. And we were going to post it for 5.
for 3.
No, it was gonna be posted for 3. It was gonna remain
Posted.
posted
But it's
for
built
3.
built for 7.
For 6.
Built so that the ambulance can go through if they need
I
to.
thought so. Because we rebuilt it for a higher tonnage.
When I see litigation coming down the road, somebody's gonna get a ticket. They're gonna find out the bridge has been rated for 12,000 pounds.
And we're going
It's
to get
just gonna be
sued.
a waste of time.
No, not necessarily, because what we are, as a town,
Right,
we are authorizing only a 3-ton vehicle.
but that's a half-ton pickup and how they look at weight. You guys know how it's not about what's being towed behind it. Actually, truth be matter is, a truck with a trailer on it's better
Because it's spread
than,
out.
Disperse it.
because the weight's spread out. Okay? they're gonna look at it that way. I mean, if it's 12,000 pound rated, I'd put it up 12,000 pound.
You better have a camera that's good enough to pick up license plate numbers. too.
Right, cause you're not.
Otherwise, how are you gonna know?
It does say that you need license plate. We would need to be able
So
to
you
pick
gotta
up
have a
license
pretty
plate
good
numbers.
camera to get that license plate
So,
number.
so the thing that concerns me on that side, and I realize what the sheriff's department is saying, but you all do realize that there was a giant court case, and there's a reason cruisers don't have license plate readers on them anymore. That was struck down in court.
Right.
That license plate readers are illegal in the state of Vermont now. So
That's why I'm saying, I don't know
like
if you can use
we
a
put
camera.
a camera up that's capturing everybody's license plate, I can't believe that it's any different than a license plate reader that was deemed illegal 2 years ago when they had to take all the things off the cruisers.
Invasion of privacy.
Yeah, that's what
Which
it was
wrong,
deemed.
because they're
It
out
was
there
deemed
trying to
that.
help us.
So I guess just my personal opinion, these are questions we can't answer tonight. I think there's a lot of research that's got to go into this. I think there's a lot of unanswered questions.
But we wanted to start the conversation.
Oh yeah,
and that's
no,
what we're doing.
and that's fine. I've got no problem starting the conversation. I'm just saying there's a lot of questions here that don't have answers.
Why don't we have, get a hold of Sergeant Cross again? We could tell him what some of the select board members' concerns are, as well as the neighbors, and see what legally we can do and can't do. And in the meantime, we can just do some research on cameras and what would be available and stuff like this. This is not, to you being, live that close over there and stuff. This is not something that you can do overnight. This has to be something that we have to be sure that we have all the facts for.
On the camera thing, I think it would be important to find out the cost of being able to pick up the license number, the plate number. I mean, because if you have the camera and you can't give positive ID, what's the point of it?
I mean, a camera's great to catch, the firewood business that's loaded going across. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty well given, but you're right. I
You
mean,
gotta
you got to be able to identify the other cars somehow, and if they would classify that like a license plate reader,
Yeah. then
that's
you're-
illegal.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's some gray area questions here that have to be researched, I think, for us to know what.
Just put up Easy Pass right across.
Yeah. Well, and again, going back to it,
Go across that.
you just don't want, like Eddie said, I mean, we're in a litigious society right now. So if you open us, we don't want to do anything that's going to open the town up. That all of a sudden we get sued because one, we collected information, or there could be any number of things that could go into that.
Right.
Well, these are concerns that we have to do some research on.
And you better put
Sergeant
those
Cross.
signs that you've got in an area where if a guy's coming with a trailer and he gets up to the bridge
Yeah.
and he says, "Oh crap, I can't turn around," guess what? He's going across that damn bridge. So you got to have those signs
Well in advance.
well in advance.
They have to be 500 to 1,000 feet away.
Yeah, that's
And
something.
luckily for that area, there's turnarounds.
Like Janine's house.
You'd see them on the end of the road, if it's something like coming off 103.
Right, I've seen it
There's a
that way.
Low bridge ahead or whatever.
I've even seen
And on
covered
Ford
bridge.
Road, there's a sign that says truck route straight ahead, and it's covered by grass. So short of somebody going out, and
Right.
maybe a positive thing would be for people to be able to tell their workers that are coming in a positive way to say, if you're heavier than 6,000, what is it, 3 tons,
3
please
tons.
go around.
Mhm.
So maybe our community can also be kind enough to tell their hired people that are coming, like trucks with lawn care stuff, if that goes over the tonnage.
Well, good starting conversation, and we'll start now by doing some research. All right?
That's all I have.
All right, approval of select board warrants.
Right here.
They're right there, so everybody signed them. If anybody from the public wants to come and look at, see how we're spending your tax dollars, go ahead. Any guests tonight other than me? Public comments? All right, old business. painting bids for the town hall. Ashley, what do we have?
So we do have painting bids for the town hall. However, did hear back from some vinyl siding people today, so now I think we need to table that again until I hear back from them with their bids.
Anybody have anything new?
Make a motion that we table this item.
Second.
That was fast. All those in favor of the second and first motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. School consolidation, George.
Yeah, that's me, by God. What do you know about that? I'll try to keep it brief, because of Robert and a few other things. As everybody recalls, we started just prior to March election talking about consolidating in our school district to help to lower the cost. And what I've discovered so far is that the maximum that we might be able to save in terms of money with the most efficient consolidation process would be about $1.5 million. And you say, well, that's pretty good, but the budget that was just passed was $21,300,000. So $1.5 million and 20 over, a $21 million budget is a drop in the bucket in many ways. But $1 million sort of represents 9-10 cents on a rate, just to put that in perspective. And of course, in our district, the way to get the most savings on consolidation is closing buildings. And if we could somehow figure out how to close one or more buildings, you got a very uphill battle with the bylaws that were drawn up on the consolidation effort. And the bylaws are very simple, is that to close a school building, you have to have unanimous approval of the sitting school board and a majority approval of the town where the school building is, which that's going to be a very uphill battle. Now, in some of the other discussions that I've had recently, the effort might be better spent in terms of talking about consolidating the high schools from the standpoint of it's going to be easier for parents to ship their kids that are in high school age on a bus for some distance versus an elementary school kid. So anyways, what I'm doing at the moment is in August, next few days, we'll get a final report of how the previous school year went in our district, and I have a fellow that is a numbers guy that's going to take a look at it in terms of making any recommendations for any other kinds of savings that make sense to him. So when that is completed, I'll bring what happened with that effort to the board, and then we'll have a final discussion on what kind of a survey, if any, we want to put out. As of now, Shrewsbury is not interested in doing any kind of a survey. Wallingford is lukewarm about it. Timoth, one person there, seems to think it would be a great idea, and of course our town seems to, at the time we started talking about it, seems to be in favor of it. So that's where we are right at the moment. So my next steps are to find out what I get for information from this accounting guy, and the next thing is to talk more about what kind of a picture would look with the idea of consolidating at the high school level in this area. I mean, we have, 5 high schools, and they're very close to each other as far as I'm concerned. So that's where I'm at, and I'll keep working on it. I'm done, unless there's questions.
So your number of $1 million, $1.5 million.
Yep.
You're saying that's the number, that's the only amount that's saved if a building was closed?
That's a possible amount saved with closing a building, the easiest possible scenario. I mean, there's 2 small buildings that could be closed, but you got to go through the fight that I was talking about.
Sure, but I'm quite shocked that that's the only amount.
Each one of those
Very
run
small
about
amount.
$600,000.
Operating, that's.
operating the building.
Yeah.
I mean, the teachers, of course, is another whatever
So
is involved there.
is this 1.5
But
million
he's gonna move the
only
teachers.
one
It's
building?
another school.
one town?
Oh, two.
Yeah, exactly.
Two.
You're not gonna lose it. It's never gonna happen.
That's a possibility. That's a maximum as far as I can see. Looking at the figures.
And that'd be Timoth and Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't,
I mean, that is gonna be, that's gonna be a struggle. But on the other hand, if you look at our tax rate, it's jumped up, how much was the increase? 10, 12 cents or something?
Homestead's 11 cents and
11 cents.
non-homestead's 19 cents.
And that's just gonna keep going. And even people getting state payments, they're still paying some tax. And the some tax that they're paying is gonna continue to go up. And I'm not sure that salaries are going up at the same rate anywhere that I know of. I don't know about anybody else. So at some point, there's gonna be we can't do it.
So George, I would be interested to hear what the financial person has to say,
Yeah.
but I would also, and I know Art said it next to me just a second ago, but I personally believe that, especially since we have one town that's not interested at all, this is now a dead issue. So
Pretty
I don't,
much.
So I don't think that it should be something that you waste a large amount of time in, because I think it's a. I appreciate what you have done. I appreciate what you found out.
Yeah.
But I don't want you
I understand.
spinning your wheels. So
Well, as I said, I'll get a hold of that information and I'll share it with the board when I have it, and we'll
And
have
that-
a
and that's-
conversation then.
quite frankly, that's probably as far as it's going to go. So
Probably so.
Yep. Yep.
It's sad, but it's gotta be a state effort to solve this problem, I'm sorry.
But thank you for the info.
Yep.
good job, George. New business, tax rate. Heidi, I suspect you wanna talk to that.
Yes, sir. So I've provided you with the tax rate flyer for this year, fiscal 25, and then the next page is a comparison from last year to this year. This year's homestead property tax, which includes education, homestead education, the town tax rate, our local agreement rate, totals to 2.1769, which is up 12.5 cents. 11 of those cents is from the school. The non-homestead property tax rate, including the non-homestead education tax, town tax rate, local agreement tax, totals 2.2871, which is up 20 cents, 19 cents of that being from the school. This is what is voted on in March, folks. It's directly related to what this is. So I would also.
So why do we have to set the tax rate? It sounds to me like the voters have already done it.
They have, it's just a formality. And basically what you're also doing for me is setting the due date. So the taxes I'm asking to be due on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. That is a bit of a change from the past. Since I've started in this position, I have had the taxes be due on a Saturday. I've had an increasingly amount of people ask if it could be the same day every year so that there's no question that taxes are due when taxes are due on the same day every year. So that being said,
So what happens if the 15th falls on a Sunday?
I'll be here. Just like I've been here on Saturdays, I will be here that day. I will be open the Saturday previous to the tax due date of October 15th. And then we do have a drop box as well outside for after the business hours on the 15th are over. But I'm going to send out a little memo with every tax bill this year that says all of that. So my formal recommendation, my formal ask is to have the taxes due from here on out October 15th, as long as I'm sitting in this
I think you're
position.
going to hear a lot of lip from people who come in on Wednesday and say, what the hell?
We get a lot of lip from people as it is now saying, why is it a Saturday? That's not a business day. So why is this any different?
So you're saying 15th regardless of what day of the week?
Just like April 15th for your
Yes.
income tax.
Yeah.
That way, as long as I'm in this position, it's the 15th, October 15th, every year, period.
I certainly don't have any problem with it.
You don't wanna really put that in there either, because when it's April 15th, the following Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
That's right. That's true. If it's on a Sunday, it goes to the following Monday. If it's Patriots Day up, it's a different day.
They did start doing that the last couple of years, you're right?
Yeah, so,
Well, then those years they'll send a little message along with the tax bill that says we will be open that day. Like, I mean, this isn't rocket science, folks. The due date is the due date is the due date, period. So,
I think it's fine. I mean, it's a situation where you're gonna find somebody that's not happy about something. So,
We have people sitting here that are taxpayers. Any thoughts, anybody?
Due date's due date.
Doesn't matter to me.
I'm more concerned about
Just pay
stuffing an envelope with 2 pieces of paper instead of 1.
Don't care about how much darn
That much
things go
heavier.
up. They
Not
just
the
worry
envelope
about
and the
the
tax
date.
bill.
I mean, this year, if you were to look at it as how I had done it in the past, with it being due on a Saturday, that would mean it was due the 12th. So, it's a matter of having it due Saturday the 12th or Tuesday the 15th. I mean, they're actually getting a couple extra days this year.
So basically what you're asking for tonight is, us to, okay, October 15th, and let's move on with this.
Yep.
So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, the 15th, that way it's in everybody's mind, do that day, bye, done.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Do we need to do something with your tax rates?
No, sir.
Okay. I didn't think so.
Okay, done.
Thank you.
So on that tax rate of a 12.5%, a $10,000 bill is gonna go up $1,250
Oh, yeah. So,
to give it out there for a figure.
just to give an example, of what the homestead rate does on a, bill that is for a house that is valued at approximately $200,000, that means that your tax bill with the homestead rate is going up approximately $250.
Here, Robert.
All right,
Drive slow.
Yeah.
On a ticket on the way there.
Or go backwards.
Where's it? He's gotta go all the way to the
Heidi,
school?
do you have anything else you want to report?
That's all I have for tonight.
All right. Kevin, you have anything you want to,
What's that?
you have any report that you want to give? Tax collector and all, I mean, assessor and all,
No.
and
Grand list is out, everything's done. When the tax bills in September and stuff envelopes.
how we doing with graveyards?
Can I agree with my value?
Yeah.
Sure, you can come in and see me tomorrow morning.
Report taxes.
How about cemetery committee?
Cemeteries have come along nicely. I was thinking about this year and how much work's gotten done, and, individually by myself and collectively with, football team and G and I took down a tree in the Austin lot 2 weeks ago. I had a neighbor help, Aaron Hilliker help me. I took down a tree this Saturday in the Chippenwick Cemetery, it was dead, and Rick Parrott across the road brought his tractor over and just, I cut and pushed. They're starting, there's light at the end of the tunnel, I think, for Chippenwick. Eventually, I'm starting to see lights in there, so looking good.
Yeah.
I-
Gloria, do you have any?
I do. Next Tuesday is election day.
Oh.
13th,
Primary.
and primary election day for the
Yeah.
state. And we're open 10 to 7. And you can come in absentee, early vote anytime between now and Monday.
And we're gonna need on Monday setup,
Yes.
so if anybody wants to volunteer, Bob, keep you out of trouble.
And for the November election, November 5th, the state is going to mail out all the ballots to everybody.
Good grief.
But make sure your address is correct in the system, because they usually take it, the checklist, like September. So if you're going to be away for the winter, I can't send you another ballot.
Okay. Good.
So
That's
the
good.
messages, check what?
Your mailing address.
Okay.
If you're going to be, like, if you go to Florida
Yeah,
for the
well, yeah.
winter.
I'm not, but I just wanted, in
neither.
case I get asked.
Ashley, do you have any?
I do not.
Okay, moving right along. Cash, do you have any concerns?
To Kevin Peck, impressed with all the workers that were at the cemetery.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
they look really well. George?
It's just a demonstration of if somebody starts taking an interest and generates interest, a lot gets done. And I had us off to Kevin and all the work he's done over the past, 4 years now?
3 years, yeah.
Done good.
So keep it up, my friend. It's really noticed.
That's more or less what Marines do, right? Semper Fi. Semper Fi
I'll give
Marine.
you that one.
I have nothing. Art?
How long has it been since you've been a Marine?
46 years.
But
Well, thank you.
Once a Marine.
Thank you for your service and for what you do in the cemeteries.
Yeah, once a Marine, always a Marine, I can tell you that.
us Marines, once a Marine.
Other than that, I don't have anything.
Okay.
I mean, Kevin, it's very important for you to, kind of pace yourself on this work, because you don't want to end up being buried on this job.
And now hearing that, I'd entertain a motion to,
I move we adjourn.
No.
No.
Oh, sorry,
Executive session.
executive session.
sorry,
Sorry
That's
about
right.
that.
jumping ahead.
All right, make a motion, someone to go into
Yeah, I
executive
do.
session.
Second.